Alright, hopefully this is the last take. I'm gonna jump right into this. 15 minutes. There's not really a lot of time to cover all the information in here. I didn't have a predisposition going into this packet, and after going through and annotating, I'm still not completely decided on my position, but I guess I'm gonna kind of think out loud as I go over it, kind of explain my perspective, and hopefully figure out where I stand by the end of this. So just starting off, just the very concept of having an AP African American history class, I don't think is a problem. I mean, just having the class isn't a problem. There's definitely a lot to be said about the topic. And even though it's already talked, like slavery and certain racial aspects are already talked about in history classes in schools across the country. I don't see a problem with taking a deeper dive into those racial topics. So the two sources I found the most helpful were source B and source D. Source B kind of outlines the course content, and really, reading through it, there's nothing that I found problematic. In fact, I think most of these units could make for interesting conversations, and I don't think there's really any problem with any of these. They all seem educational, and there are a couple, like the trace the growth of major sub-Saharan African kingdoms and empires. Like, I don't see why you necessarily need to go that far back in African American history to. I don't see why you need to go that far back, but it's not necessarily a problem to do so. But on to source D. Source D outline. It's a tweet that outlines all of the the major talking points, I guess, of the debate over this subject, and the 6 major issues that people had with the class's curriculum. I'll address these 6, but I'll start by eliminating 2 of them. So numbers 3 and 4 are Black Lives Matter and Black feminist literacy thought. I understand that both of these can be controversial, but they're also both significant parts of African American history. So there should be there's no reason that should be a problem. That both of those topics, I feel, have a place in that class. One of them, the first one, that is one of the bigger ones, is intersectionality and activism. I don't find a problem with that one either. My mom is a teacher at ASU. She teaches social justice and human rights. So I'm familiar with the concept of intersectionality, and um, I don't think of it as anything problematic. Just simply um, the idea that the different aspects of your identity affect your lived experiences. Um, I really don't think there's anything controversial about that. But moving on, um, we have we have one of the bigger ones, which is Black queer studies, which I think the reason this is a problem is because it validates or validates Ron DeSantis' concerns in Source A about a political agenda. And yeah, I just, reading it, in my mind, there's no immediate connection between African American history and queer studies. So even though there could potentially be conversations to be had about that topic, it just looks like an agenda, like ideology and thoughts are trying to be added in, and the reason I think that is so. The reason I think that's a problem is, well, with the separation of church and state, schools can't, like teachers can't preach religious ideologies, obviously, in the classroom, because that'd be inappropriate. Not everybody has the same views on those sort of things, so it makes sense that gosh, I'm tired. Anyways, separation with church and state. If you're not allowed to talk about controversial religious ideologies in the classroom, you shouldn't be able to talk about equally controversial secular ideologies in the classroom, because really, with these things, we're talking about worldviews. Like Christianity encompasses a worldview. Same with Islam and Judaism, any religion. Those are all worldviews, and the same goes for modern politics and the kind of the cultural and ideological debates that we're going on in the country right now. Is we're dealing with worldviews. So just like religious worldviews can't be preached in the classroom, I don't think secular controversial worldviews should be part of any class material. So that includes the Black queer studies, and that also would include the other two remaining ones, which make up reparations and critical race theory, both of which I disagree with. I think they both have flaws, and for the sake of time, I won't talk about either of them too much. But I'll kind of wrap it up with source G, which I think is the nail in the coffin here. It's this guy Trimel Suzanne. He's criticizing the College Board's decision they made to edit the the course material of the AP African American Studies course. And he's saying he talks a lot about how he's disappointed that the College Board removed those controversial portions from the class material, and he says this bothers him because of the current political climate, and that doing this is like giving. He says it's empowering attempts to exert ideological control over freedom to learn and yada yada yada, and how this is a bad move for like his political appellations. So for me, I think this is the nail in the coffin. Like I said, if like just like religion shouldn't be discussed in the classroom, political bickerings shouldn't either, or not even bickerings, but really, in our hyper-polarized society, political conversations and disagreements get so intense. They're full of so much hate, and really they've become a battleground. Liberal versus conservative, Democrat versus Republican, this person versus that person. It's all a battleground, it feels like, and those are battles that absolutely should not be waged in the classroom of all places. Like DeSantis says in the first source A. Trying to see where he says it. He said, "We believe in teaching kids facts and how to think, but we don't believe they should have an agenda imposed on them." So yeah, that pretty much sums up why the class shouldn't be added to schools. Now I will have to look into the changes made by the College Board, because that's something I didn't know that happened until I read the source G. So I may reconsider my position depending on what exact changes College Board made. But yeah, those are my thoughts. That's my 2 cents as a podcast show host. So there you have it.